Welcome in, Pete, owner of Damn Yankee. And we did have a quick question. On my end, I was having a very difficult time hearing Pete. If he speaks, I'm curious to see if you folks can hear him.
Hello, 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 hello.
I mean, right, I'm basically getting nothing, so I'm not quite sure what they're getting.
Check, check.
So, what say you?
You know,
Can we hear Pete, or can we not hear Pete?
oh, hmm.
Yeah, if I turn these speakers up, I'm getting that. It picks up me saying it twice. Is that what you're getting when I speak?
No, I don't get any echo at all.
Okay, I can deal with the echo.
Yeah.
So let's say hello to everybody real quick. E-Rock, welcome in. Me saying hello to E-Rock and thank you for stopping by. Hey there, Aldemir. And Aldemir wants me to stop flirting with E-Rock. And he's got a suggestion for you, Pete: vanilla custard, black Cavendish oil scent.
Oh well.
I don't know if that's a real thing or a joke.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's right up my alley either way.
What would vanilla custard black? What is black Cavendish?
That would be like a pipe tobacco.
Okay. Get Joshua Ricks in the house. Mira Ricks. Sheena, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Chris, how's it going? Thank you, Sheena. Sheena thinks we both have great beards. Jay, welcome in.
Yeah, I'll try. I got a little. Mine's not quite as majestic as yours, but yeah, it's getting there.
And now it sounds like who's in the stadium, Pete or me?
Hmm. The acoustics in this room are not great. It's a lot of brick and echo. So
Beard history in the house. Yeah, for me, thanks, Sheena. To me, it's like you've got it on super low.
hmm.
Yeah, I do have the echo. The reason I have the echo is that if I don't turn my microphones all the way up, I can't hear Pete at all.
Let me try a little something here. How about that?
Mike, welcome in.
Let's see if that's any better.
It's still pretty low.
Hmm.
Thanks, Sheena.
Stand by.
Love them lads. I'm not even going to have to call them. They hear Love Them Labs name and they want to come up and say hi. Come on up, Frankie. All right, beat it.
Hmm. Not sure. It's loud to the point of being distorted on my end. So
Yeah, and yeah, Waldemir says it the tobacco that he smokes. And actually, after you mentioned it, I realized Cavendish is a type of tobacco.
yeah, hang on. Let me turn this down a bit here. It's one of those things that I'm trying to be sparing with the tobacco scents at this point,
David,
um, especially considering we just released one in September.
and
So
the one in September would be.
it's called Spirit Guide. It's tobacco, Palo Santo, and sage.
I love the page, and I'm trying to get there, and I don't know why I'm not getting there now. Where you have everything split up by the autumn collection, and then the carnival collection, and then your regular scents.
Oh, if you look in fall collection spirit guide is in there.
But for some reason, I'm not getting to that page.
Hmm.
If I, when I first got in here, if I went to beard oils, I get to that page. But right now, I'm just going right to the scents page, not the one where it's split up by your different releases.
Hmm.
In fact, I did realize I haven't tried any of your carnival scents.
Oh yeah, those are something we launched about a year ago, and just added a new scent to it back in September. So there are three scents total. The first two, and it's kind of a spooky carnival theme. It's one of those is called Corn. So it's like a kind of a caramel popcorn scent, which sounds kind of weird to put in your beer, but it's surprisingly fun. The other one is churros. So it's kind of a cinnamon sugar kind of doughy kind of scent. And then the one we just released is called Midway, and that's kind of my take on a caramel apple.
In fact, I'm trying to get back. I'm going back into your site,
Mm.
and yeah, for some reason, if I go right into your site, I get it listed with the autumn, and then the Carnival of Souls,
Mm.
and then the beard scents. But for some reason, if I've already been in your site and I've gone to like a scents page,
Mm.
for some reason I don't get back to that home page, which is
Sure.
interesting. And I'm sorry, what I'm doing to keep my echo down, I'm turning my speakers down when I'm speaking and turning them back up when you speak. So
Okay.
sorry. So yeah, I love the homepage when you first go to everything the way it's split up. But like I said, for some reason, I once you're in the site and you get off that homepage, I don't think you can get back unless you back up into it.
Yeah, one of the plans for so it's going to be some downtime. Typically January, February are pretty slow. So that's typically when I do kind of website maintenance and things like that. So um, yeah, it'll be one of those things we're looking at for early next year. Just kind of make it a little smoother. Right when you come in to shop at damyankee.com, I mean everything should pretty much be there on the first page.
And Love Them Labs just mentioned that. Yeah, he can't hear you
Hmm.
either.
Okay.
And Chris is saying that he's looking at the Sterling blend. Coconut oil smells weird in my beard 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Um, the Sterling scent sounds
Just
awesome.
so we're clear, there's no coconut oil in Sterling.
So
Sterling is argan, broccoli seed, kukui nut, and castor.
maybe when he talked about coconut, he was talking about your
Oh,
standard
essential
blend.
blend. Sure, sure.
Yep.
Hmm.
And Western Ram, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Sheena's saying hello to folks. And it looks like Aldemir is trying to collect all your tobacco scents, which I think you've got what, 4?
Um, I would have to sit and think about it. I'd say at least a good solid 6 or 7. Um, so just off the top of my head, so the originals are like Papa's Chair, which is tobacco leather. Um, we've got cedar tobacco vanilla. We've got Pipe Dream, which is tobacco and orange and vanilla. We've got oh man, Spirit Guide, which is the new one. I know I'm missing a couple in there somewhere.
I counted 9 altogether.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's it's just one of those things that it's a masculine note in a lot of ways, and we used it a lot early on. I try to do it sparingly now, just because we've got quite a few of those out there. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those kind of multi-purpose things that we use in different ways. There are scents where the tobacco is really cavendish. I don't know. The mic on my end is so loud that it's distorting, so I'm not sure.
Uh, Western Rim was talking about the echo. The only way I can get rid of the echo is to totally turn off my speakers. But yeah, I've got my speakers turned up all the way, and I can barely hear you. And Erock is saying you can't hear you at all.
Let's try this. How about now?
It's a little bit louder.
All right, let's see if that's any better. I just jumped in the settings real quick in StreamYard and see if I could crank it up a little bit.
It seems slightly louder.
Okay.
And yeah, Sheena is saying that, yes, you sound low.
I'm not sure.
Mark Brown, welcome in. Got a bunch of other people saying hello. But yeah, you're right. I didn't realize he actually had 9 different tobacco scents in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to use them sparingly now, just because those other ones are out there. So, I never say never at this point. So, who knows what's in store for next year? But at the moment, no plans to do another one for a while.
Yeah, in fact, I've got pipe dream in today,
Oh, good.
which I love. And actually, earlier in the day, had tiramisu, and about 7 o'clock when it was winding down, I threw pipe dream in. And we've got Ellie Orchard in as well. Or sorry, Ellie Orchid.
Yeah, Pipe Dream's kind of an unexpected profile, just with the orange and tobacco are not things that you would typically think would go together.
I used to think orange goes with anything, but I'm learning that it doesn't always work.
The question is, how does it work with cedar?
The cedar I got from you, I, to be honest, didn't like it, but I think it's my fault. Because I said try and go equal, and I'm getting the feeling that it's probably more like in 80% orange, 20% cedar that that is my ultimate goal. I was actually going to modify this and add a pure orange to it and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because that is all on me. You were asking, what am I looking for? Should one be out front over the other? And my best guess was even Steven. And now that I've tried it, I'm thinking it's more orange way out front because cedar is so powerful.
Yeah, it's hard to know until sometimes those things take a while to settle down.
And like I said, the only way I could think of to test it out, I do have an orange only scent, and just try adding more orange to it and see if that gets to the place that I was looking. So, and I'm sorry, like I said, if I leave my speaker up, I get an echo. So both of you have a strange echo thing going on.
I wonder if I jump out and then come back in.
It might help.
Yeah, okay. Let me bail real quick and I'll be right back.
Okay. Now, I'm curious. Now that I'm here alone, is my mic doing just fine, or is it still a problem? Let me go to the bottom of the chat to see if, holy smokes, I'm way behind. But yeah, I'm wondering, do I sound fine right now without Pete in here? I've got it set to my good microphone, so I should be good. Yeah, normal. What was happening is that Pete's microphone was so low that I had my speakers turned all the way up. And I'm not wearing headphones. Usually it's never a problem, but for some reason, with my speakers turned all the way up, it just was causing that echo. So let me see if I can catch up with these comments. Joshua Ricks saying hello to folks. And Russ Young, welcome in. You know my Dream Bomb collab was Damn Yankee Pipe and Dream Bomb. Yes, I do. In fact, I don't know why I didn't think of that when I ordered from Pete. I ordered 7 cents and I didn't order I got Pipe Dream, but I didn't get Pipe Bomb. And I don't know what my problem was, why I didn't get it. Pipe Tobacco, Dark Chocolate, and Cherry. I should have just gotten it. Paw, what do they call that again? Paw's chair. Yes, that's an awesome scent. Brian saying hello to everyone. And thank you, Sheena. Always appreciated. Well, Pete is, well, I'm behind. Yeah, Pete, something was going on with his microphone. Thanks, Mark. In fact, Sheena does an awful lot of live streams where she does like an exercise thing and just has a bunch of folks join in while she does her daily walks. Mark, my echo is big because I had to turn my speakers all the way up to the max just to hear anything that Pete was saying. And you just put in some Bountiful. I don't remember. Oh, Bountiful. I stayed away from Bountiful because I sometimes don't like spices that much. At $2.99 a sample, I should have just gotten them. Yeah, the 1 cent that I really regret not getting is the Cavendish pipe tobacco and dried fruits. Yeah, thank you. Normal. Yeah, and like I said, the problem with my mic was that I was. Oh, and here's Pete back.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh wow, 180-degree turn.
Ah.
Your mic is now completely normal.
Oh, good. Okay.
Did he have YouTube up with StreamYard? I think it was just something weird that occurred. Now it seems to be normal.
Ghost in the machine.
You can't have YouTube on at the same time. I've got YouTube on right now, and I never have a problem. And let me just catch up a little bit here. That is her channel name. Sheena's Ketovore Life. That is her channel name. And before I proceed with Nate creating our collab. Okay, yeah. Russ was talking about a collab or a scent he did with Ferocious where he mixed your Pipe Dream and Pipe Bomb.
Yeah.
And
wasn't too long ago. It was just I think earlier this year, maybe.
And I had a bottle sent over to me. I've got to try it some more.
Yeah.
Yep. Brian says we're fixed. If Brian says we're fixed,
yeah,
then we're fixed.
Yeah. Nate's a buddy of mine. Nate actually lives the next town over from me. Nate was actually my first paying customer in 2018.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In 2018, he was not up and running yet, correct?
I think he was. I think he started in 2017.
Okay. And that Pete has a small reverse skunk beard. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. In fact, I'm sorry, I'm a little flustered. I was going crazy messing with my volume. trying
Oh,
to hear you and then
okay.
bring it down so I could talk.
Oh, well,
So
good.
yes, it's something we were talking about before, 9 different tobacco scents.
Yeah.
So I can see why you might want to lay off a little bit. You know,
Yeah. Well, it's here's the thing. It's a versatile note, right? And I use it in different ways. There there are scents like Cavendish where tobacco is front and center. And then there's scents like the new one, Spirit Guide, and also Cedar Tobacco Vanilla, which you did a video on not too long ago, where it's more of just to kind of round things out. I don't know that you can pick it out specifically, but I use it to just kind of smooth things over. So it's kind of magical in that sense, right? I mean, you can make it front and center, or you can just have it kind of help bring everything together.
yeah. In fact, I've got to wear the Spirit Guide again.
Mm,
Of all the 7 scents I tried, I thought that was kind of the most unique.
yeah. Spirit Guide. So typically the way I work is I have a core of like 6 or 8 scents that are on all the time. And then I and then I'll rotate out things seasonally, right? So these fall scents we just started around Labor Day, and they are going to discontinue on Black Friday, so here in about 2 weeks. Um, and so typically what I do is if they're seasonal, they usually don't stay unless either I like them a lot or they sell really, really well. And so I think the only one that's probably going to stay in the permanent lineup from this fall lineup is going to be Spirit Guide. And I worked a lot on that one, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. And I love the others
Mm.
as well. But seasonally, just sometimes stuff has to go. So
Yep, yep. And I've got to tell you, I was surprised at how much I liked 50 Shades of
mm,
Earl Grey. I've never been much of one for tea scents, and to have a black tea scent that I really and I didn't even really get the bergamot. I mean, I knew it must have been in there, but I
mm,
to get a tea that I really enjoyed was kind of really surprising for me. And the biggest thing that surprised me was the way your scents aren't like they're not going to blast you out,
mm,
it's not like a herald as you walk into a room announcing you. Your scents are usually kind of medium,
yeah.
and each time I tried one, I was like, this one is not going to last. I put tiramisu, and I was rooting for it, but did not expect it to, go the distance for a whole day.
Right.
And your scents, the duration on those scents, I don't know. I get how other people do it. They start out way up here, and then by the end of the day, it's still there. But yours are right there in the middle, and they just hang in. I mean, it's
It's funny. And thank you for that. For me personally, I when I put on something in the morning, just speaking for me, like I don't want to still be smelling that like in the evening, right? Like I get kind of nose fatigue, olfactory fatigue, and I don't want to be smelling the same thing on my face all day. So for me, 5, 6, 7 hours is perfect because by the end of the day, it's gone. I mean, you've still got the softness, but the scent itself is really largely gone.
well. I hate to disappoint you because some of your scents I was getting 10 or 11 hours out of. And for me personally, I want to smell it. I want to
Yeah,
smell it all day long, and that's what I mean.
yeah.
Even the tiramisu, which I said was like 6 plus, today after 8 hours, I was still smelling it.
Oh wow. It's
So
funny. It's a personal preference. But what I can say after doing this for 4.5 years is when scents don't last that long, people feel kind of ripped off, right? So I would much rather field a complaint of the scent is too strong than the complaint that the scent is not strong enough.
Well, in like I said, I didn't think any of the scents were too strong, but lasted forever, which I thought was probably perfect for most people. People, I don't mind, you know, scents that slap me in the face. It's strong is fine, um, but a lot of people want it to last. In yours, I just was amazed that they were medium. They weren't knocking me out of the park, but
Mm.
they also were lasting forever.
Yeah.
And to me, that's
Well, I appreciate that. And it's one of those things that especially if you're working around other people, I think you have to be mindful of the fact that other people are smelling you as well, and it may be something that they're either sensitive to or just don't like. So, I mean, I think for me, yeah, you also need to take into consideration that if you're around other people, they're going to be smelling you all day also. So,
and Russ says for him, pipe bomb is an overnighter,
mm,
which
yeah,
I'm still trying to figure out why I didn't order pipe bomb. Maybe I got to 7 cents and figured that's enough for now.
it's funny. Pipe Bomb we released in February of 2019, and I sent it to a pretty well-known beer content creator to possibly review, and his feedback was that he opened the bottle and it immediately filled the room and he just closed it and left. So I'm not sure if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but I certainly didn't get the review I was looking for, that's for sure.
I, I'll say it again.
Mm,
I don't think I've ever tried an oil that I thought was too strong.
mm, yeah, yeah.
And he
Um,
says he absolutely loves long-lasting scents.
oh, good.
Chris, True North, welcome in.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's going to be something a little bit different, throughout the day, right? So when you like the one you did just now is a good example. So Pipe Dream, right? So orange is a very strong, citrus is a strong top note. So when you first put it in, you're going to get a big face punch of citrus, but that's going to go away probably in just a matter of minutes, right? Because the way it dries down, the same way a cologne would, right? I mean, there are going to be notes that you'll be going away as you go through the day, and then what you're going to be left with are your base notes at the end of the day. So, I try to be mindful of that when we're looking at creating new scents, is what you'll be experiencing throughout the day.
Yeah. And Aldemir says if I still smell it at night, I don't want to shower. I just want to keep on smelling it.
Well, that's good. That's good, good, good. Yeah, I had to stop. So I used to be like a nighttime butter guy. And Mrs. Yankee made me stop because she did not want me coming to bed smelling like beard stuff. In fact, that was the origin of our. We have an unscented line called Silent but Deadly that is specifically for that reason.
And I just noticed that today before the live. I was going through all the pages of your website that I hadn't seen in the past, and I got a kick out of the name. Personally, I usually buy unscented butters just because it takes me so much longer to go through butters than it does oil. And, I'd rather have one unscented from a company than, 5 scented that I'm never going to use up.
Yeah.
Especially at yours are 4-ounce.
Some of them are. The standard for me is 2-ounce, but
okay.
I still make a few 4-ounce butters, but I stopped making 4-ounce because it's an enormous amount of butter, and I feel like it's hard to get through one of those unless you just have like a Dumbledore kind of beard that just reaches down to the floor. Yeah, so we do 2-ounce, and then we do a 4-ounce in a few scents, and we do a few by request, but our standard is 2.
Yeah, and Western Ram says pipe bomb reminds me of the
Hmm.
center of a Tootsie Pop, but darker.
Yeah, so I kept this secret for the longest time, but the kind of secret sauce with pipe bomb is actually coffee. So I usually try to keep the notes a little bit under wraps for a while, but it's got kind of a Tootsie Roll vibe because it's like a chocolate coffee tobacco with a little hint of cherry on the top.
Got it.
Which
And
sounds like a really weird combination, but it really works.
it doesn't sound weird to me. I could see the coffee working well in there. Yeah. In fact, the 2 cents from you that I'm still baffled as to why I didn't order
Mm.
are pipe bomb and Cavendish.
Yeah.
I don't know how I went by them and didn't get them. I'm kind of curious about Port Isabel, but I'm
Mm.
not much of a black pepper guy.
Um, yeah, I mean, I can send you a sample of that one. That's the feedback that I usually get from people about Port Isabel. They don't like black pepper because that's literally all it is. It's black pepper and it's orange essential oils. Um, which I mean to me smells great, but I mean I'm from a part of the country where we use pepper liberally, so I don't mind it. But that's when I get negative feedback about Port Isabel. That's usually why, because
Well,
of the black pepper.
a lot of times when I try something with black pepper in it, my thought process is that, man, I'd really love this scent if I liked black pepper. And I'm
Yeah.
sure there are a bunch of people out there that love it as much as you do.
Mm.
Is that a good seller?
Um, I wouldn't say that it is, but it's always going to be on the website because it's got a very personal backstory for me. So Port Isabel is a real place. It's on the coast of Texas, just a few miles north of Mexico, and it's really famous for the lighthouse that's there. In fact, the lighthouse on the label is the actual lighthouse in Port Isabel, and um, so we took a trip down there a few years back, and it's just a really, really cool part of Texas, right? You don't think of Texas as somewhere where you can surf, but there are places in Texas where you can kind of surf, and that's one of them.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought of surfing in Texas either. I will tell
Yeah.
you one of my regrets too is that had intended to get your Port Isabel seasoning,
Mm.
and it just kind of I forgot about it when I ordered.
Yeah, that's
And
that's where it started. Is with that orange pepper seasoning. So um, that is a thing that's kind of particular to this part of the country, rather than lemon pepper. You see lemon pepper here on some foods, but it's pretty common here to see orange pepper as well. So that's kind of how it started.
it, I would order it now, but usually I want to order a bunch of things, because the shipping is so much. You can't buy something for $5.99 and then pay $7 in shipping and feel good about it. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to come up with a list and then give it a shot. And I think you mentioned to me that it is a bit on the milder side. It's not going to have that punch that lemon pepper does.
Yeah, not quite the same. It doesn't have. Probably the best way to say it is that the citrus note is not quite as sharp as lemon pepper.
Got it. So that would mean you can dump a ton of that stuff on a piece of chicken, and you're going to be
Um,
happy.
I certainly would. Yeah.
Yep. And
But yeah, no, that one's always going to be around just because that's one of the two that are like really, really personal to me. So that one will always be around.
and someone asked earlier if you've got any Christmas scents coming out.
I'm glad you asked. Yeah, no, we do. I think there are going to be two this year, and we're going to release those on Black Friday on November 25th. So I know I've got one. I'm working on a second one. So we'll see how that goes in the next few days. But
now, Ian, for anyone that doesn't want to miss out on a scent that's available now, basically what I'm getting from you before Black Friday, your autumn scents are going to go, except for Spirit Guide.
yeah. So Tiramisu, Bountiful, and 50 Shades of Earl Grey are going to discontinue probably at the end of the night on Black Friday. So there will be like one day that Friday where we'll have autumn scents and Christmas scents on the website. But the way this autumn collection's been going, it's been trailing off the last couple of weeks. So I normally when that happens, people are kind of done with it. So if you haven't ordered, you've got a couple of weeks left. So
yeah, and I think I said earlier, of the autumn scents, Tiramisu was my favorite, but 50 Shades of Earl Grey is the one that really surprised me, that I could enjoy a tea scent that much. And how about the Carnival of Souls? They gonna stay around, or are they?
Yeah, that one, it has an autumn vibe to it, but that's actually a permanent collection. So those are around all the time. Kettle Corn, I don't know if Brian Haywood is still in here, but Kettle Corn is the one that surprised him the most. It doesn't sound like caramel popcorn would be something that you would enjoy putting in your beer, but it kind of surprises you. It's actually pretty fun. So that would be where I would start.
Does it have that like baked aspect to it of the popped corn, or is it buttery caramel?
Yeah, well, what's really interesting, that's where it started, right? So I found just kind of by happenstance, I found a popcorn fragrance oil that was a dead ringer. I mean, like, if you had your eyes closed, you would not know that it wasn't a bowl of popcorn right in front of you. And it blew my mind. So, and then I found it's a caramel that I've been using for a while that has kind of a dark note to it. I don't want to say burned or like bruleed, but it's a caramel that has kind of a burnt edge to it a little bit. So yeah, so it's kind of got that heavy caramelized kind of scent going on.
Got it. And with the Midway, that's dark caramel, fresh red apple, and spices.
Yeah.
Is that a real spicy scent? Is it a?
No, I kept it pretty minimal. For some reason, I've not been able to find an apple until now that I really thought smelled like an actual apple rather than, your granny's potpourri bowl on the dining room table. So I found an apple last year that I really liked and just kind of put it together with the caramel that I knew I liked. And there's a little hint of spice in the background, but no, it's not predominant, that spice note. It's the biggest note there is the caramel. So
yeah, and the one that really kind of intrigued me was the churros, the fried dough in cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So I don't do a lot of cinnamon scents just because you may be able to tell by looking at me that my skin goes red at this drop of a hat. I'm super sensitive to cinnamon. So I try not to use it a lot just because I don't want to, first and foremost, I want it to be safe for people. That's number one. So I found a cinnamon sugar that I really liked. And I found in perfumery, they would call it like a gourmand or a bakery note, right? So there are aroma chemicals that smell exactly like bread, or in this case, kind of a donutty kind of smell. So what makes churros interesting is it's not just a straight cinnamon sugar scent. It smells fried, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
To me, that's what makes it interesting rather than just being like a straight up cinnamon sugar thing.
Well, and usually if I hear cinnamon, I'm done. I'm not even
Yeah.
going to think about it. I've had cinnamons where, the description is just a hint, and that hint,
Mhm.
is no good for me. It
Yeah.
I can barely tell it's there, but it wrecks it for me. But
Mhm.
when I read this description, cinnamon sugar, I didn't take it to be in that family of cinnamon that I would hate, you know.
Yeah. I really try not to use cinnamon unless I absolutely have to, just because personally I can't wear it. It's my skin is too sensitive. So when I'm developing something like that, if I can wear it comfortably, then my feeling is most guys can also. Um, but yeah, this one I can wear comfortably, without my face just going, beet red. But
And Aldemir had a question. Pete, is the collection from Harry Potter coming back? I think that's
um,
what it's called.
yeah, no. So this time last year, my wife and I are both huge um, Harry Potter fans. In fact, this time next week, I'll be in Orlando, Universal. We go there every year to do the Harry Potter thing. Um, Last year, we had a collection called Back to School that was four Harry Potter themed scents. So to answer your question, the original collection won't be back, but I'm planning on an entirely new Potter related collection for 2023. Um, so hopefully that's good news and not bad news. But the Potter collection last year was the biggest collection we've ever done, by a huge margin.
It,
It Yeah, it blew my mind when it was all said and done.
and it sounds like Aldemir had a favorite, Forbidden Forest.
Yeah, so that was, I'm not a huge fan of like pine kind of scents. I do like spruce, um, but all of these kind of tree related scents, they all smell the same to me. And what I thought was missing was the actual earth underneath the tree, right? So I thought, wouldn't it be great if you could actually smell, the earth and the tree and the wood and all of that at the same time? Um, so Forbidden Forest was cedar and spruce. So you still got that kind of piney note with the sharp note of spruce, which I still love. The warmth kind of cedar, and then there's a company that I buy from sometimes who services the perfumery industry that has a fragrance oil that smells exactly like dirt, like a dirt out of your garden. And I was like, wouldn't that be interesting? And um, it didn't sell that well, but the people that liked it really liked it, and I thought it was really interesting.
Is that something you would give? Well, someone could order it from you. Is that correct? If they
I've done it on occasion, so I keep an archive of every scent that we've ever done. It's behind me somewhere over there.
got it.
And so I'm able to go back and have a reference point if I need to make it again. I do it by request, discontinued scents. So if there's something that somebody really loves that's been discontinued, um, most of the time I can go back and make it again. There are exceptions, um, but
Would
yeah, most of the time I can go back and make it
would
again.
Forbidden Forest be one of those exceptions, or is it?
No, actually, yeah, no, I've still got everything for that. So I could make that anytime.
And Erock says, I haven't had a scent with cinnamon. Curious to smell on a beard product. I doubt I will like it. I've
Yeah.
got to tell you, when I looked at churros, if it had said fried dough, comma cinnamon, comma sugar, I would have thought I'm not going to like it. But since it says fried dough, comma cinnamon, sugar, I figure that's a different animal, and
Yeah.
I'd probably like it.
I mean, I can definitely understand. I mean, it's cinnamon. You either love it or hate it, and I think I fall somewhere in between. But um, I don't know that I love it in my beard. But this particular one was too good to pass up.
Yep. And Russ says I like cinnamon in beard.
Right.
I'm thinking that the only time I could ever like cinnamon, I, I think of having cinnamon toast.
Mm,
It's not cinnamon; it's cinnamon and sugar,
yeah.
which I think might bring it where I want to be. And especially with you saying that you not a fan of cinnamon, I've got to imagine it's really that pinch and not, you know,
Yeah.
that make believe pinch.
Yeah. I mean, I use it sometimes. I did a scent. Oh dear. 2 years ago, I think. I did a pumpkin spice latte scent that was like a cinnamon coffee, um, that I still like. But yeah, by and large, I try to avoid it. So I'll do a cinnamon scent on occasion, but not a lot.
Iraq is saying he doesn't like food scents for beard products. I'm
Yeah,
I'm hit or miss. Sometimes I kind of dig them.
yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that from a lot of guys also. So there are certain elements that are kind of the kiss of death for beard products. I think chocolate is one of those. I don't know that it's food related necessarily, but lavender is also a product killer. But um, yeah, I get that feedback a lot. A lot of guys don't like food scents, but I think seasonally, I think sometimes it's appropriate. Like the tiramisu from this fall. It reminds me of tiramisu, but I don't know that it necessarily. It doesn't really just take over. I think as a food scent.
No, I agreed. I thought it smelled like tiramisu too, but it didn't make me feel like I was wearing food. And
That's good.
what else have we got here? And Sheena was asking what everyone's favorite scent. I'm trying to think of what my favorite scent would be from your lineup. And your cedar tobacco vanilla would definitely
Mm.
be up there, but I'm not sure if I would put it as the number one. And I think you've said that's your favorite of your lineup.
It's funny. It changes all the time. If I had only one that I felt represented us most clearly, it would probably be that one. It's got everything I love in it. Um, yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, my favorite scent from us is usually whichever one is the newest. So, I mean, some of these I've been wearing for over 4 years. So, I like to try new stuff out.
Yeah, I one thing I do love about the cedar tobacco vanilla, if I'm heading out at night and I just feel like having it, it really doesn't matter what I was wearing in my beard before it. I can just
Mm,
put it in. It's going to take over,
yeah,
and I'm going to have that cedar tobacco vanilla no matter what I wore earlier.
right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
yes, Sheena, the cedar tobacco vanilla is an amazing scent. In fact, you were looking for a gift for a brother. I'd say that's definitely a safe bet. The cedar tobacco vanilla.
Yeah. Woody musk tobacco oud. Yeah. Oud was, all the rage a couple of years ago. I think that may have subsided a little bit now. I'm not sure. I used it once in a scent, and I didn't after that just because it kind of became the flavor of the week a couple of years back.
I think it's definitely got its place now, but yeah, I think I seem to remember all of a sudden it was the new thing to do. It wasn't,
Mhm.
Oud was just Kingsman, Holy Grail. All of a
Mhm.
sudden it was, everything.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And what have we got here? And Ben, thank you for stopping in. the thing I was wondering, do you come out with or ever come out with summer series?
Oh yeah, every year.
Okay, and I'm late to the game.
Yeah.
What are any of your summer series still left here, or
No, those discontinued around Labor Day. So what did we do this past summer? Oh man, my memory is shot. So typically every summer, oh, I know what we did. We did, I think we did three. Typically, I'll do a pineapple scent every summer. I've got a pineapple oil that I really like. This past summer of 2022, I did one called Painkiller. That was pineapple orange, brown sugar, and rum. Um, and we also did one that we called Freaky Tiki, which was a smoked pineapple. Um, that one didn't go over great, but I wanted to put it out there and see what people thought. And the last one was just like a straight up kind of coconut vanilla. I wanted to kind of throw one right over home plate, so that was that one. So summer of 2023 will probably be no exception. I don't know what we're doing yet, but I promise you there will be pineapple in something. I've done it every year since we started. So
got it? And I've got to tell you, for me, summer scents are year-round scents. Summer scents are my favorite. I can't help thinking that I've got Painkiller or something similar.
I may have said that to you. I don't remember.
I don't know how I could forget. I mean, a pineapple scent is right up my alley.
You know, it's funny. This year, I talked to Mrs. Yankee about it. I wanted to keep a couple of them around all year long and do like an endless summer collection. That's my favorite Beach Boys record. So I wanted to keep maybe Painkiller and the coconut scent around. We may bring them back next year and do them all year round. We'll see.
And it might be that I went on your site, saw Painkiller, and said that looks really good, and that is, my memory. What does E-Rock say here? I love Holy Grail, but the grapeseed kills the shelf life. I actually got the whole Holy Grail set. It was like 50% off. Oil, butter, balm, conditioner, wash. And then when it came in, I realized I don't like oud that much, or at least not that. I hated it.
Yeah.
I think I finally got to a point when the bottle was about 2 years old, and the scent was so diminished that I could have maybe worn it and not hated it, but it was just a pile of products that I could not stand.
I've never used grapeseed oil, but I've not heard great things about it. So
I actually really like grapeseed,
okay.
and I've always wondered why, as far as I know, grapeseed and hemp seed have about the same shelf life. Hemp seed might have a smidge more,
Right.
and I know grapeseed gets the bad rap for the shelf life, but I've had some products with heavy hemp that I've got from one company. I've got about 10 of their things that pretty much all gone bad within a
If you could
relatively
only have one carrier oil in your beard, what would you choose?
castor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know what? Maybe not. If I could only have one just straight oil, I might have to go with something like apricot or castor sounds nice, but wearing that only forever might not be the best. I'm trying to think of the other one that might be up there. Apricot, or I can't think of the other one that's kind of that nice all around oil. Yeah. Use it up in 2 to 3 months and you never have to worry about it.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got to go through my collection. I know I've got probably 20, 30 bottles that are going in the garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I just moved a couple of weeks ago to this space we are now. And I threw out a lot of product that had just been sitting around, um, and just kind of purged the beard shelf on my way over here. So
It- it-
I'm gonna have to
I've got
restock.
some that I won't even test out because I'm going to be sad to see them go.
Yeah,
But I think I'm going to knock out a big percentage of what I've got. And
yeah, yeah.
Moringa, was that meant for you, Pete? Or
I don't know. I've heard of it. I've never used it. I mean, I know of a couple companies that use it.
oh, Moringa oil. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Mark says
Mm,
one oil only, squalane or black seed.
yeah. It's funny. I mean, everyone has their preference, and an oil that agrees with one person may not agree with another, and that's one of the challenges of doing this, right? Is that you're trying to appeal to as many people as you can, and it's hard.
Yeah, and Erock is saying that there's good grapeseed and bad grapeseed,
Mm,
and Lux uses the good one. And I've got to tell you, Lux uses the good one, but
mm,
if I get something from Lux, I've got to pay attention and use it up, or it's you know quicker than something from another company. It's going to go bad quicker, is what
yeah.
I found. I think Pete uses
Um,
broccoli, doesn't he?
yeah,
Yes, he
yeah.
does.
I use broccoli seed oil is one that I use in both original and sterling as well. That is my ride or die oil right there. Is broccoli seed oil.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know I prefer your Sterling blend,
Mm,
but I mean, I would use either one and not really
yeah.
care. Uh,
Um, yeah. Well, that's the way that sterling started. Was I intended it to be for graybeards like mine, and but it really works. It should work for anybody. But just you probably know that as you get older, that your beard is getting more porous and more brittle in a lot of cases. So I wanted something that kind of spoke to that, and that's where the whole idea started.
yeah, I mean, if it was the case where if my favorite scent was only available in the original blend, I would just get it.
Mm,
But given the choice, I'm always going to go for the Sterling.
yeah, it's funny. I was actually just going to release a few scents in that blend, and it was actually Brian Haywood, Beards and Banjos, who convinced me to do all the scents in that blend. So you have him to either thank or curse for that one.
Well, and I think I mentioned that the last time you were on. Most other companies, they'll have two blends, but not all the scents. There's the line that's available in that blend, the line that's available in the other. In
Yeah,
generally, I can think of a couple of companies where I definitely prefer one blend, but I go for the scent usually. I'm not.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the things that I wanted to avoid that as much as possible, right? So if somebody liked a scent, I didn't want them to have to choose, which blend it was in, or vice versa. So
Yeah. In fact, when I get the samples, could it
mm.
be a mixture, or are they all original blend, or
The samples are all original blend. However, you can on the website get a sterling sample in the sterling scent, which is kind of a cologne scent. But that said, if you would like to try a sample of a scent in the sterling blend, just make a note on the order that you'd like it in the sterling blend, and that's no problem.
got it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In fact, I mean, really, I take a lot of requests that are not on the website. So, if there's something you're looking for that's not there, or you wanted to ask a question, the easiest way to reach me is actually through probably either Instagram or email. And then when you make an order, I mean, just make me a note on there if there's anything I need to know, and I'll see it.
And one thing I was checking out on your site today that I hadn't looked at before was your beard washes and conditioner.
Mhm.
Uh, I was really happy to see. I, I've got some beard washing conditioner, 4 ounces, like $15, and a 4 ounce bottle is. I just got them like a week and a half ago, and I'm already getting nervous that there's
Yeah.
nothing left. And I love that yours are 8 ounce bottles. Um, I think a lot of us forget what it used to be like to buy shampoos,
Mhm.
where for $5 you got a big jug of shampoo
Yeah.
and a big jug of conditioner. I know the stuff we're using is a lot better, but still, it's a
Yeah.
bit of a price shock for anyone new to this stuff.
Yeah. It's one of the, yeah, I mean, and I think like a lot of guys, I mean, that's how I started out a few years ago, was just using, commercial shampoo and conditioner. And it just, I didn't realize, the damage that some of those products can do. So the two washes that we have, one of them, I call it a stripping wash. For me, that's how it works anyway. And that's Eraser. Eraser is a Castile soap. So the pH is not great. I would like it to be a little bit more acidic, but it does well, and it's in like a peppermint tea tree scent, which I like a lot. Um, I have a daily wash that's called Iron Lion. Iron Lion is African black soap from Ghana, and that is in like a kind of a birchwood amber oud kind of scent. Um, I don't scent it real heavily because black soap kind of has already an aroma on its own that's fairly pungent, so I try not to pile on that too much. And then the conditioner is just a base that I have that can be made in any scent. So the chances are good when you look at each individual product, you'll see options for conditioner as well. And I will say this, and I went up last year on pricing on conditioner. I hate that it's that expensive, but the best way I can say it is that conditioner base is far and away the most expensive thing that I buy for Damn Yankee by a mile. Um, and so I don't like charging that much, but I make, let me put it this way, I make the least money on that product because it's such an expensive base.
Well, in the point I guess I was making it or trying to make is that someone new to beard products
Mm,
looking at these prices would get sticker shock.
yeah,
But I'm looking at these prices and thinking it's an 8 ounce bottle, it's not a 4 ounce bottle,
yeah,
and it's $3 more than the 4 ounce bottle.
yeah.
So,
Um,
um,
so
so it's a deal.
that's one thing I've tried to do with Damn Yankees. I try not to take people to the cleaners on pricing. And I do this because I love it, and I do it for a living. But I promise you, I'm not sending my kids to college with Damn Yankee. But I try to charge people fair prices, and I think we do pretty well.
Well, in for the conditioner, I thought it was only available in the Port Isabel.
Originally, that was the case, but starting in 2019, um, and this is one of the things I probably need to clarify on the website. But
Yeah, it looks like it's just
if you, well, on any of the products, if you were to pull down the drop down menu, and if you go down far enough, you'll see uh, wash and conditioner and all of those scents. Um,
okay.
yeah.
So don't order it from that page. Order it from
Um,
the
yeah, I
oil
would go
page.
to I would go to the individual product page. So, like for example, if you go to, tiramisu and you pull that drop down menu, you'll see everything. You'll see combos, oils, butters, balms, conditioners, washes. It's all in the drop down.
Would that be the same for the Iron Lion?
Iron Lion is kind of a standalone. Um, there there isn't an Iron Lion oil or butter. I mean, it's just strictly a wash.
So could you get the Iron Lion wash and conditioner?
I've done it on occasion. Yeah.
I'm just thinking I
Yeah.
like the Iron Lion,
Uh,
uh, but usually you want your washing conditioner to be the same. So,
yeah. I've done it on occasion. Um, so yeah, I mean, I do it by request for sure.
all right. And thank you. I just found what I'm going to be ordering. Like I said, I've got these 4 ounce bottles, and I've only had them for a week and a half. They're
Yeah.
already making me nervous that they're empty. And
Yeah, that's especially with a beard like yours, as long as that is. I mean, 4 ounces is not going to last forever.
I try and be sparing. And Russ wanted to mention that you do candles and bar soaps too.
I
And
do.
yes, I was checking those out earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Um,
I got a kick out of looking at that candle.
mm,
It looks relatively small in the picture, but it's got, I think it was 65, 70 hour burn time.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's a little deceiving because it's a 12-ounce candle. So I mean, it's a decent sized candle. It's
Oh, the pictures.
yeah. So I wanted to do something that I saw some other beer companies who were just maybe taking their tins, their butter tins or balm tins, and just making them into candles. And I wanted to do something a little more upscale than that. So that's kind of where that idea started. Those vessels that they're in, the ceramics, are made for us by a guy here in Fort Worth who's a ceramic artist. So we actually have those made for us.
And I'm glad Aldemir mentioned this. I saw the shit show. I don't
Yeah.
remember where I found it. And I was kind of curious how
Mhm.
exactly to use that. Is it for
Yeah.
spraying in the toilet or just
The same way that you would use a product called Poopery. So essentially, it's an essential oil blend that you would spray on the surface of the water prior to doing business.
prior
And
to?
yes,
Okay.
it acts as a barrier to any of your less glamorous business that you do in there.
And just so people know where to find shit show, I'm looking. I can't find it. I don't remember.
On the front page, as you go into Shop Damn Yankee, if you scroll down just a bit, I believe it is under new releases.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
going from the menu.
okay. You can also there's a search bar at the top of the screen that you can type that product name into.
Got it.
Yeah. Um, Not a huge seller for us, but it just kind of made me laugh. And it's not something that you would expect from a beard company, which is
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of, was kind of what I was
Well,
anticipating.
and the scent profile sounded kind of awesome too.
Yeah, it's it's grapefruit, lemon, and lemongrass.
Yeah. Is that going to be the new oil scent shit show?
Well, maybe I mean I don't know. It's pretty top heavy, but I mean I haven't used lemongrass a lot, but I really like the smell of it.
But we are at an hour and 9 minutes, and
Ah,
I know Bearded Respect is doing their thing. I think one of them
okay.
has got a birthday today, 50
Oh,
years old. uh,
uh,
but I do appreciate you coming on,
yeah.
and
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
many thanks. Glad
Yeah,
we straightened out that the microphone thing.
yeah. I don't know. Ghost in the machine. It was weird.
Yep, yep. And thank you to everyone that came in,
Yeah.
and the 6 of you that hung out past the 1 hour mark. And see you all next week.
Thanks a lot for having me. See you guys later.
Take it easy, Russ.
Okay.